Hello. There we go. There we are. Beautiful. All right. There we go. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Let's see if we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we're live. A little bit of a technical difficulty there. All right. Beautiful. All right. Let's get the glitch fixed over here. All right. Wonderful. 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 All right. All right. All right. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Audio works. Good. 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 All right. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Let's see about X. Are we live on the X? There we go. There we go. Legal says, good morning, DBL. Good morning. Good morning, Legal. How you doing? Yes. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's get started here. Let's make sure we're live on the X. Yes, we are. Beautiful. Good, good. All right. There we go. Let's make sure we're live on Twitch. Are we live on Twitch? Yes, we are indeed live on Twitch. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Marty says, hi, Doubles. Hi, Marty. How you doing? How you doing? All right. All right. Let's see. Bobo Beebs says, howdy. Hearing you, Lima Charlie. Copy that, Bobo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right. ELAB seems to be moving right now. So I'm going to keep an eye on that right there. ELAB. ELAB. All right. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to take a look at ELAB in just a second. Just got to get all the announcements out and ready to go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second. How was you guys' weekend, by the way, ladies and gentlemen? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know how your weekend was, ladies and gents. I got to chill out and play some video games. And then got to go outside, too, a little bit. You know, got to touch some grass, you know, all that good stuff. Got to go see the big old lake. It was nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yes, and, you know, we're going to do our thing. We're gonna do our thing, have a good old time today. We're gonna have a good old time. And not only we're gonna have a good old time, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't wait for lunch because man, as soon as lunch pop off, I'm just saying, all right, I'm gonna be making some like stir fried what's it called? it's like a beef lo mein. I know how to make that stuff, so I'm making beef lo mein. And DBL moms can't have none. DBL moms can't have none because it's mine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna eat the whole thing too before she steal it. Stealing! Because as you know, DBL mom stole my lo mein on November the 17th of 2023 at approximately 11:30. Actually, no, 8:30 at night Eastern Standard Time and 24 seconds. Because she did that, she stole that. So, she stole it. Stealing. Your mom stole my lo mein. She stole it. And yeah, stole my lo mein. My poor lo mein. It shall never be the same again. All right. Just getting all the announcements out, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting all the announcements out. All right. There we go. Let's see here. Oof. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, no, I'm going to make that lo mein, man. Ooh, it's going to hit. You know it's going to hit. It's going to hit. Yes, protect it at... Yes, Bobo. Yes. Got to protect the lo mein from DBL moms. All right, she was stealing my lo mein. And I will not have it any longer. I shall not have it. I shall not permit it. Permit the thievery. I shall not. No. Because that lo mein is kind of hitting, though. I'm just saying. I mean, hey. I'm just saying, just saying. The lo mein do kind of hit a little bit. It do be like that. You know what I mean? Hold on 1 second. Just gotta fix that thing. There we go. All right. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Getting everything all set. All set to go. Boom. Right here. Bop. Right there. All right. There we go. There we are. Bop. Right there. Boom. All right. Good. Make sure this is all set up. All right. There we go. There we go. There we are. All right. Alex Martinez says ELAB moving. Yep. Already got my eyes on it. As soon as I get the intro started, that's the first one we doing right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, hold on. Alex Martinez says, let's go. I'm in at 270, still holding back. Almost sold at 390, but still looks strong. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ELAB. I know. I'm looking at it. Looking at it. Yes, sir. All right. Yes. ELAB hit 128. 128. Just doing my thing over here. All right, beautiful. Let's get ourselves set up here. Good. All right. All right, let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, a.k.a. the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to get shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to party and go to RVs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go to the stock market and find them ABCDs. And as you all know, she likes to steal my low main. We call her DBL Moms! Hey! That's what we got going on, folks. That's what we got going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on. That is what we got going on. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Yep. All right. Okay. All right. So, let's get started with ELAB. ELAB, we called quite a few stonks, by the way, but let's start off with ELAB because we called ELAB prior to its 128% run. ELAB. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ELAB. All right. We called this stock early in the morning. We called this stock. 1 second. Right there. All right. And it ran up a nice 128%. 128% right there. Percenta. Yeesh. All right. All right. All right. So, yep, ELAB ran up a nice 128%. Let's take a look over here. All right. So, right here we got ELAB, ELAB. This one ran up a nice 128%. That's how high it ran. As of now, it's up 117%. Has news that PMGC Holdings shares are trading higher after the company announced that its subsidiary Northstrive Bioscience signed a licensing agreement amendment with MOA Life to speed up the timing and key development milestones for EL32 and EL22 human clinical development program. Also, the company reported a year-over-year expansion of its asset base. Also has unconfirmed Q3 earnings due in 11 days from now on April 10th before the market opens on Friday, which, I mean, yeah. Let's see what goes on there. What goes on there right there. Hold on 1 second. Wait a second. Isn't the market closed on Friday? Why is it saying that on Friday it's got that before the market open? Because there's no... No, it's not supposed to be open on the 10th. Or wait, on the 10th? Let me see. Am I tweaking? I could have sworn. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh wait, no, this Friday's the 3rd. Okay, all right. I got you now. I got mixed up there. I thought I got mixed up there. I got a little. I got a little mixed up. Got a little confused. Got a little confusion, you know what I mean? Confucius, yes. No, Confucius was not confused. He was not a confused person. Confucius had it all figured out, almost. But as of now, ELAB curling off the pennant right now, just curling above the VWAP right now. 9 EMA and the VWAP are intersected right now. Very, very nice. Very nice. RSI is leaning towards being overbought, but not exactly there yet, so we're good. We got that going on right there. ELAB is curling up nicely, had a nice 128% run, and is curling off the pennant right now, so it has that going on right there in terms of news. Also, ELAB has a 541,000 float, 32 million volume, so the volume is higher than the float. That's excellent. We just have to make sure that it continues to look schmexy to me by remaining friends with this uptrend over here. All right, but it is right now, it is on the uptrend and is currently climbing right now. Let's get some support and resistance lines here. Let's get some support and resistance. Let's see here. Support, bot right here. Resistance, bot right there. All right. Let me actually zoom in the room. All right. Bot right there. Well, let me make this. Actually, no, not that one. That one. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. There we are. So, as of now, ELAB has to break above the 387 resistance line over here, has to hold above 353, and has to break above 387. Needs to remain friends with this uptrend over here. Is up 124%, had a high of 128, and looks like it's trying to test that high day right now. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens right there for ELAB. ELAB on the uptrend needs to break the high of day at 387. That's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. ELAB needs to break 387 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, all right, all right. Well, let me get a sip of my orange juice here. Let me get a sip of my orange juice here. Ooh. Ooh. That's that stuff right there. Yes, sir. All right. Is now up 129%. ELAB now up 129% and climbing. Now up 129%. 129% and climbing right there. Yes. There we go. ELAB now up 129% and climbing its way on up right now. Climbing its way on up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's testing that high a day. Testing that high a day. We'll see what goes on there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 200. 200, 200, 200. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's take a look at BFRG. BFRG. Let's see how that's doing. BFRG up 75%. Bullfrog AI holding shares are trading higher after the company announced a commercial agreement with a top 5 global pharmaceutical company to apply its proprietary BF-Leap platform to identify and prioritize novel drug treatments in major depressive disorder. So they got that going on right there. This stock did go up as high as a nice 94%. 94% might have even gone higher than that. Might have even gone higher than that. But you know. Yes, prosenta. Yes. Let's get a shop body. Yes, so as of now, BFRG has to hold 89 cents, needs to break the VWAP at 94 cents, needs to break the resistance at 98 cents, and then needs to break the high a day over here at $1.13 right there. So as of now, BFRG, all right, as of now, needs to had a high of 94%. 94%. All right. All right. So BFRG ran up 94% so far today. Spotted it on our private Discord before the parabolic run today. Right there. All right. All right. All right. So, as of now, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out, by the way, our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. The link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. And ladies and gentlemen, yeah, check out BFRG. BFRG, we're checking it out right now. Has to break the VWAP at 94 cents right now for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. BFRG needs to break the VWAP at 94 cents for it to be schmexy to me. Yes, sir. There we go. That is what we got going on for BFRG. BFRG. All right. Let's see what else you got going on. What else you got? What else you got? Let me add them. All right. So let's take a look and see what else you got here. ITRM, if I remember correctly, ITRM had a nice high of 183%. We also called this one in our private Discord. It is pulling back now, though. However, it is pulling back, but it did have a nice run earlier in the morning. All right. So let's see here. Actually, you know what? Even better. I think that this maybe if it could break above the VWAP, could potentially be a descending wedge. Maybe if it could break above that VWAP. Needs to break that VWAP, though. That's what we got going on here. ELAB is moving 156%. Hold on. ELAB 156%. Broke the high a day. Ooh. Alex says, just got sold out of ELAB. 5,500 shares off the table at 412. $4.20 usual hard. You say 420. 420 usual hard stall. Besides that, ELAB cooking. ELAB is cooking right now. Up 156%. ELAB broke the high a day. ELAB broke the high of day. Now up 156%. We called it, baby. Ooh. 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 Yes. Yes, sir. Ooh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, as of now, ELAB is currently on the uptrend here. Needs to break the new high day at 441. For it to be schmexier to mya. ELAB needs to break the high of day at 441 for it to be schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alex says another 500% bagger today.
Let's go.
Yeesh.
Let's go.
Maybe. Oh, he's asking if we're gonna get another 500% bagger today. Hey, maybe. You never know.
You gotta be in it to win it, baby.
Always gotta be in it to win it. Because I mean, we did get a 500% bagger on Friday. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 300. Let's get to 300, ladies and gentlemen. Yeesh. All right. So, as of now, ELAB on the uptrend needs to break above the high a day at 441 for it to be somewhat schmaxy to mya. Otherwise, we'll see what happens right there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens right there. Let's take a look at ITRM. In the meantime, ITRM, I think it might be on a bit of a downtrend here. ITRM did have a nice run earlier in the day. It had a nice run. Needs to break the downtrend. But ITRM did have a nice early run early this morning. We called it at around 3 a.m. in the morning. And it ran a nice 183% so far today. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Called it on the private Discord, of course, for all of our people. For our people, you know what I mean? So, yesh. All right. go. There we go. Bop right there. All right, Alex said QNCX moving. All right, we'll take a nice little look at QNCX. ITRM needs to break the downtrend and needs to break above the VWAP at 8 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. ITRM needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP at 8 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, all right, all right. All right, there we are, there we are, there we are. Woo! All right, so Alex says QNCX moving. Let's take a look at QNCX. QNCX up 28% as of now, has a bit of a double top forming right over here at the 12-cent line right over here. Needs to break, well, yeah, needs to break the VWAP 2 at 11 cents and then needs to break that double top 12 cents right there. All right, so Quincy Therapeutics Inc. up 31%. Has to Q4 earnings are unconfirmed and are due on Friday, April 10th, just after the market close. So you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. So needs to break that double top. It also needs to break that VWAP. It looks like it broke above the VWAP right now, but needs to break the double top at 12 cents, which is a resistance line for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. So QNCX. All right, we're going to take a look over here. 50 million float, 50 million volume. So as of now, the float and volume are relatively even. QNCX needs more volume. Broke the resistance line just now. And is climbing. Yeesh. Heavy float. Volume is at the same level as the float, but it could still use more volume. Could still use more volume right there. More volume. So we got that going on right there. We'll see what goes on with QNCX. We shall see what goes on with QNCX. Actually, let's take a look at the news, see if there's any other news that was put out here. They did file a Form 8 and settled a $5.5 million loan under their obligations from the European Investment Bank. And they settled $16.4 million of debt. So they got that going on right there. That's actually some good news for it right there. They settled some debts and loans and stuff like that. So we got that going on right there. Is currently on an uptrend off the double top right there. All right, and is climbing a little bit overbought in the RSI. But we'll see what goes on there. We shall see what goes on there. Let's take a look at SGML. SGML. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 400. SGML, Sigma Lithium Corporation, up 24%. Has news that Sigma Lithium shares are trading higher after the company reported a year-over-year increase in Q4 financial results. Their Q4 earnings announcement was confirmed before market today, and they do have a conference call currently in progress as of now, but we'll have to take a look at that, and we'll see what goes on there. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. All right, has a bit of an uptrend here, a little bit of a pennant right here. Needs to do that right there. Needs to hold above the VWAP right over here, and needs to break above the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SGML needs to break the pennant right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. SGML needs to break that pennant. We'll see what goes on. We shall see what goes on right there. All right, let's see what else we got. QNCX. Let's see how it's doing. Formed another double top right over here. Looks like it could potentially maybe form a head and shoulders. Maybe. All right, because this looks like a shoulder. This looks like a head. Let's hope it doesn't form another shoulder, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. QNCX needs to break the resistance at 13 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. QNCX needs to break resistance at 13 cents right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. It needs to break that resistance line right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. It looks like it's testing, it's blowing, you know what I mean? A little bit of testing. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at BFRG. BFRG currently fell below the VWAP a little bit and then started curling its way back up above the VWAP right there. Now up 95 cents, broke the VWAP right there. Bullfrog AI Holdings shares are trading higher after the company announced a commercial agreement with a top 5 global pharmaceutical company to apply its proprietary BF platform to identify and prioritize novel drug targets in the major depressive disorder area right there. So right now, BFRG is testing that VWAP, trying to break above it. Right there. It is trying to test that VWAP right there. BFRG testing the VWAP and trying to break above it. We'll see what goes on, though. We shall see what goes on. BFRG. All right. There we go. Let's take a look at ELAB again. ELAB right there. Ooh, all right. Let's see here. ELAB kind of forming a bit of a pennant right now. Little bit of a pennant right here. Has to break above the resistance line at 441. ELAB has to break the high a day at 441. Hold above 394 for it to be so much mexi to mya. ELAB needs to break the pennant. All right. ELAB needs to break the pennant and the high a day at 441 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. Let's get a share party. Let's get to 500. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see how else we fare. How we fare right now. Yes, sir. Let's see here. ELAB looks like it could potentially break above that pennant. Maybe we'll see what happens there. ITRM. Looks like it's trying to curl off the downtrend there. ITRM trying to curl off the downtrend. Needs to break the VWAP at 8 cents, but ITRM looks like it's trying to curl off that downtrend up 111%. ITRM curling off the downtrend. Still needs to break the VWAP right there. Boom. There we go. All right. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on, folks. ELAB. Let's see how ELAB is holding up right now. ELAB is testing that high a day right now. ELAB testing the high a day. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. 1 second, ladies and gents. 1 sec. All right. All right. There we go. There we are. All right. Ooh. All right. So as of now, ELAB is testing the high a day. Right now. ELAB. ELAB testing the high a day. Let's see here. ELAB testing the high of day right there. Boom. Right there. And it looks like it broke through it. It broke above it. 166. ELAB now hit a new high. 166%. ELAB. ELAB hit a new high at 166%. 166%. There we go. Presenta. Is testing the high of day at 447 now. ELAB testing the high of day at 447 right there. There we go. There we go. Bot right there. All right. There we are. Okay. So, as of now, ELAB is testing that high a day right now. It needs to break above 447 for it to be schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. There we are. There we are. All right. Let's take a look at BFRG. BFRG. Let's see how that one's doing right now. BFRG. Broke above the VWAP, needs to break above the 98-cent line, which is a resistance line right there. But BFRG broke above VWAP. BFRG broke the VWAP. Needs to break the resistance line at 98 cents. For it to become so much mexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get a share party, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 600. 600, 600, 600. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. JFBR has a 653,000 float, 9,000 volume. So it looks like it's going to be a low volume stock. So let's see what JFBR is up to. JFBR, very choppy. Chop City. Take a look at this. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Chop City right here. Chop over here. Chop over here. There too. There. Very choppy. So as of now, it is very, very choppy. JFBR. Very choppy. Low volume price action. Right there. Very choppy, low volume price action. Right there. So we need more volume for it to be so much mexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. What else we got? What else we got? Let me at him. Let me at him. All right. Let's see here. How's ELAB holding up? ELAB still testing that high a day, huh? All right, all right, all right. ELAB still testing that high a day. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Ooh, that's a good stuff right there. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. What about EEIQ? EEIQ. How's EEIQ holding up? EEIQ has a bit of a pennant and it is below the VWAP. Has a bit of a pennant right here. Bop right there. Bop right there. Needs to break above the VWAP. But EEIQ needs to break above the VWAP and needs to break above the pennant right there. EEIQ needs to break the pennant and the VWAP at 1118 right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Okay. KZR. Let's take a look at KZR. Has 7 million float, 99,000 volume, so I bet it's not going to be much of anything there. It's going to be choppy. Yep, Chop City. KZR, unconfirmed Q4 earnings due in 11 days on April 10th. But as of now, KZR, choppy, indecisive, price action, needs volume, Chop City. All right. Here we go. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 700. 700 right there. 700. All right. Let's see what else we got here, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got? Berto, how you doing? He said, good morning. Please let Coach Nick know that I apologize for Saturday. I'm currently away, but actively trading. Yeah.
We know, brother.
We know, brother. We know you're on vacation.
You better get a tan, buddy.
You said you better get a tan. Coach says you better get a tan, Berto. You better not disappoint him now. He said, anything on SST? I see that it's rebounding. Let's take a look at SST. Let's see how it's doing. SST. Let's take a look. All right. So, SST currently down 3.95% as of now. System 1 Inc. Class A common stock. Let's take a look over here. A little bit choppy in terms of price action. There's a bit of gappiness going on right there, which makes it kind of weary. I want to make sure that this is all good and all that. Let's take a look over here. Float is 3.2 million. Okay, good. Volume is 409.6 million. By the way, Bert, Coach says to call him when he gets back there. So just so you know, bro. Yeah, just so they can so you guys can set up some time and stuff like that. So he wants you to call him up, hit him up with that. Or text him. That works too. All right. Also, let's see here. Float is 3.2 million. Volume is 412,000. So, as of now, with this stock, very, 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 very low volume right here. Not a good sign. Let's take a look and see if there's any news for it. All right. Is there any news? Because the news could potentially be a catalyst. Let's see what's going on Monday. All right. The stock is retreating from a massive rally during the previous session. All right. It skyrocketed 142% on Friday to close at 332. It has a specific catalyst, and the pre-market reversal indicates that traders are likely taking profits after the volatile spike. So there's no real news per se that's recent on this. I mean, they did have shares trading lower after a Q4 sales miss and things like that, and they also filed Form K8s and Form 10 for 10s, but other than that, there's not really much to say about the stock in terms of news, so it doesn't have really much catalyst going on here. It is on an uptrend, but on a very low volume uptrend, which is kind of the only thing I'm a little concerned about here, because that's great and all, it's moving up, that's wonderful, but it's moving up on low volume, meaning that, potentially, if someone is holding a large amount of shares and they sell off, and there's not much going on in terms of volume to begin with, the stock is going to plummet. So as far as I'm concerned, SST, as of now, very choppy. It's on an uptrend on low volume, ABCD pattern on low volume, but it needs volume. That's the thing. So SST, as of now, low volume stock. SST moving on an ABCD pattern on low volume right there. That's SST. Ooh, that's my back right there. Yes. Good. I had to stretch that. All right. SST has that going on right there. Bit choppy due to the low volume, and it is moving on an ABCD pattern, but it's an ABCD pattern on low volume, so you got that going on right there. QNCX, how's QNCX holding up? QNCX as of now is doing all right. It's trying to curl up a little bit. Let's make sure it doesn't make a shoulder over here, because that would kind of, would not be fun. But let's see here. QNCX on an uptrend slightly. Still needs to break that resistance at 13 cents right there.
Doubles, doubles, double, doubles.
Doubles! Yes. Wait, what?
See, we got all kinds of songs.
Yes, we do. We do have all kinds of songs. QNCX curling needs to break that 13-cent resistance line, though. QNCX curling needs to break that 13-cent resistance line. So you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on for QNCX. QNCX. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 800. 800. All right. Let's see about the requests here. Hold on one second. All right. Somebody requested FGI. Let's take a look at FGI. FGI Industries Limited, ordinary shares up 2% as of now. Not looking schmexy. Has some unconfirmed Q4 earnings due in 8 and 14 days from now on Monday, April 13th, after the market close. But as of now, it is not looking schmexy to me. Let's take a look over here. All right. Bop right there. Let's see here. Boom. So, as of now, FGI needs to break this downtrend over here and needs to break the VWAP at 485 and needs a lot of volume to do so right here, because let's take a look at this float. Float is 525,000, which is low. Volume is 2.9 million, but it is not moving up. So it needs more volume to keep it moving upward. But right now, FGI, not looking too schmexy to me. Needs to break that downtrend. FGI needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA at 485. 485 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Hold on one second. All right. That's that good stuff right there. Ooh! Right there. That's that good stuff. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got going on here? All right. 1 second. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 900. All right. Let's see here. Somebody requested UAMY. Let's take a look at UAMY. See how it's doing right there. UAMY, Chop City. UAMY, Chop City. UAMY, very choppy, not looking too schmexy to meow, not looking too schmexy, not looking schmexy at all. UAMY, very low volume, needs volume, needs to break the indecisive price action for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Oh, also almost forgot Chop City. That is Chop City. Not looking too schmexy there. Not looking schmexy. All right. Let's see here. Somebody requested QNCX. Let's take a look, though, at our stuff here before we do that. ELAB. How's ELAB holding up? ELAB still needs to break that high a day. ELAB still needs to break the high of day. There we go. Because it needs to do that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And then we got ITRM. ITRM, let's see how it's doing. ITRM moving back down, not looking schmexy. All right, ITRM. Moving back down. Needs volume to curl. Right there. Needs volume to curl, curl, curl. All right. All right, all right, all right. EEIQ, EEIQ. Let's take a look over here. EEIQ still needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA. All right. EEIQ needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA. It still needs to break that pennant and VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Yeesh. All right. So, as of now, that's what we got going on. Let's take a look at the stock here. ASTC. ASTC has to break above this pennant right here. ASTC needs to break the pennant and the VWAP needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA at 322 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. ASTC needs that for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's take a look over here. Let's see what else you got here. What else you got? What else you got? Let's see about those requests here. All right. So let's take a look at QNCX. QNCX. Let's see how it's doing. QNCX. All right, showing another top over here. Looks like a bit of a double top if you ask me, both of which are at 13 cents. So formed a double top. QNCX formed a double top at the 13-cent mark right there. Needs to break it. It needs to break that 13-cent mark for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right. All right. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's take a look and see what else we got going on over here. All right. So as of now, ELAB curling up a little bit. Let's take a look at ELAB curling. ELAB is trying to curl a little bit. All right. So ELAB is currently trying to curl off the pennant right here. Needs to break the 447 mark for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Otherwise, it's just meh, you know how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it goes. ELAB curling off the pennant. Still needs to break that high a day, though. ELAB curling off the pennant. Still needs to break above the high of day. There we go. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, let's take a look at SGL, SGML, SGML. How's it doing? How's it doing right there? SGML currently up over the VWAP right here. VWAP is at 1271. All right, has to break above the pennant right there. Sigma Lithium shares are trading company after the company reported year-over-year increase in Q4 financial results. So they got that going on right there. SGML needs to break above this pennant right here. SGML needs to break the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Let's see what we got going on over here. Let's see what we got going on over here. All right. So, Bobo Beef says, I had to step away. Have you had a chance to look at Holo yet? I have not taken a look at Holo, actually. I have not taken a look at Holo. All right. I have not taken a look at Holo. We can take a look at Holo. 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 Give me 1 second. Right over here. All right. Holo. All right. Needs to break that resistance line right over here. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let's get some fresh stuff over here. All right. Let's get some fresh stuff. All right. So first things first, it did have a little bit of movement over here. All right. So it had a bit of bop right here. Bop, bop, and then bop slightly, and then curled up a little bit. Right. And then went back down over here, formed another small cup and handle right here before shooting upwards over here. All right, and now it looks like it's pulling back a little bit. Has some resistance though. It does have some resistance right over Mya, right over here, for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mya is at 244. That is where the resistance line is right here. So it has to break this resistance at 244 for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so as of now, 244 is the resistance line for the stock. Also has to break above the VWAP now. Has to break above the VWAP at 233 right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mya, because otherwise, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, right? So, HOLO as of now is up 20%. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 14 million and change. Volume is 4 million. So as of now, the float is a bit heavy, not crazy, but a bit heavy. All right, volume is 4 million, so the volume is less than the float, which means that there is more supply than there is demand, right? So what you got going on there is that little issue, right? So let's take a look at the news. Let's see what we got going on over here. Let's take a look at the news. All right, the news says that MicroCloud Hologram reports fiscal year 2025 revenue 56.5 million, up 39.1 year over year. So they got that going on right there. All right. And of course, they have a Form 6 that was filed as well, and a Form 20F that also was filed as well. So they got that going on right there. HOLO. As of now, you know what I mean? That's cool and all, but it really needs more volume, truthfully. HOLO as of now kind of needs more volume for it to be so much maxi to Mya, because it is below the VWAP. It is a sub VWAP stock right now. Needs to break above the VWAP at 233 and needs to break above the resistance at 244. But let's start one thing at a time, right? Let's start one thing at a time. HOLO, low volume stock right there, needs volume to break the VWAP at 233. There we go. There we go. Boba Beef says, yeah, I took my little win on that because I took a big win on ELAB. There you go. That's what I like to hear. ELAB. ELAB.
Money.
Money. All right. Money. All right. So that's what they got going on right there. Holo has to break above the pennant, and has to break above the VWAP, and needs to break above the resistance line at 244 as well. So we got that going on right there. That is what it's got going on right there. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see about ITRM. ITRM, how's it doing? How's it holding up? ITRM curling slightly. Needs to break the VWAP though, but it is curling a little bit. ITRM. All right, ITRM as of now curling off the downtrend a little bit. ITRM curling off the downtrend, needs to break the VWAP at 8 cents right there. So that's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on right there. All right, let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1300. 1300, 1300, 1300. All right. All right. So, as of now, what we got going on is simple, actually. We have, of course, our lovely Let's take a look over here. ITRM up 125%. Needs to break above the VWAP at 8 cents. BFRG, how's BFRG doing? 10 million float, 83 million volume. BFRG. Bullfrog. Let's see how it's doing right there. BFRG. Sort of climbing up right now. Needs to break the $1.13 high a day. But also needs to stay above 98 cents for it to be somewhat maxi to mya. Yes. Mark Croach says, good morning, FYI. Friday market is closed. It's Good Friday. Yes, sir. I am aware, but thank you for the heads up, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that.
3-day weekend.
3-day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. You got 4 days to make our money, but after that, ladies and gentlemen, you get a nice 3-day weekend to rest, relax, recoup, and yeah.
Let's go.
Yeesh. What you guys got planned for Good Friday? Put it in the chat. What do you got planned for Easter Sunday? Me personally, normally on Sundays, I like to sleep in. I don't know. That's just me. You know? All right, Mark Croach says, just hit the like. Have to get daughter ready for school. See you all soon. Much love, Mark Croach. Much love, brother. Much love. Good luck to you. I hope and pray your daughter gets to school safely and you have a blessed day, brother, man. All right?
Let's go.
Of course. All right? And yeah, I always pray. I'm praying every day. Anyways, but BFRG has to break 113 for it to be schmexy to meow, because that's the high a day right there. BFRG, as of now, broke the resistance and needs to break above the high of day at 113 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Yes, sir. All right, so that's what they got going on. That is what they got going on right there. Woo!
Let's go up.
Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 1400. 1400. We are just 2 minutes away from the bell. The bell. It deafens me. Yes.
We haven't seen Stewie yet.
Oh, we haven't seen Stewie? Oh, you want to see Stewie? All right, we'll get to Stewie. Let's see how Stewie's doing on ITRM right there. Stewie, how you doing on ITRM? All right, let's go take a look at our hero over here as he climbs the little perimeter. How you doing up there, buddy? There, look at him. He's climbing, slowly but surely climbing. He's breaking through the VWAP right there. You see Stewie is breaking through the VWAP right there. Stewie, how you doing, my boy? The triumphant return. The triumphant return of the homie. Yes, sir. Yeesh. There he is. See? He says hi, guys. Yeah. There he is. Look at him. He's climbing. Look at him climbing up on the little, oh, wait, double top. Stewie, no. Watch out. It's a double top. No. All right. And now Stewie is he got hit with the double top, and now he is going wee. Oh no. Stewie. Get over there. He's doing like a little flippy flip, and then he just lands. There you go. There we go. See? He did he don't worry, it's fine. He fell off the little area over there, did a flippy, and now he's over there. He's good. He's good now. He's good. All right. Alex Martinez says, ELAB, looks like it's our day for another breakout. Let's take a look at ELAB. ELAB, it's trying to curl off that pennant right there. ELAB is trying to curl off that pennant right there. All right, let's see. Let's see.
Bullfrog moving.
All right, bullfrog moving. ELAB needs to break the pennant. It's broke the pennant. ELAB is testing the high of day. ELAB broke the pennant and is testing the high of day. Right there. Boom. All right. All right. All right. All right.
BFRG.
BFRG.
Uh-oh. ELAB moving. High day test.
Alex Martinez says, I make you sound like you can't read. I meant ready. I'm so sorry, brother. It's okay, brother. It's all right. Don't worry. I'm just like reading what it says. I thought you said it's our day instead of ready. Okay. No. It's okay, Alex. No worries, brother. ELAB cooking. Yes, sir. 179 on ELAB. ELAB, let's go, baby. There we go. 179% ELAB. All right, it is the bell. The bell. It deafens me. ELAB. Now up 177% in the tri-state area. All right. Wait, why just in the tri-state area? Why can't it be Wyoming? Because Wyoming doesn't exist. Tell me a person you have met in Wyoming. I have never met a person from Wyoming. I'm kidding. I actually have been to Wyoming. It's very nice. It's beautiful. It's a very beautiful place. All right. ELAB now 180%. Yes.
Oh my.
Yes, sir. Oh my. ELAB. ELAB 180%. Yes, Perry the Platypus. Yes. Perry the Platypus. I see you've come across my new innator. I call it a parabolic innator. It makes all these stonks go parabolic all over the tri-state area. Yes. Okay. Now that's done. All right. There's our boy. He's moving on up there with ELAB right now. He's dangling. He's climbing his way on up there. ELAB had a nice high there. Had a nice high at 179% right there. Actually hit 180. Excuse me. It hit 180%. Excuse me. Yes. ELAB. ELAB hit 180%. ELAB hit 180% right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's see how BFRG is doing. BFRG, oh my, 116%. 116, baby. 116. Oh my, 125. There we go. BFRG up 125% right there. Percent. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. Yes. All right. The frog. All right. Right there. The frog is chasing Stewie. The frog is chasing Stewie up the mountain. There's Stewie. He's running. He's running as the frog is just chasing after him right now. Hey, coach.
Wow.
The bullfrog is running after Stewie. What do you mean, wah? Wah, Luigi time. Wah. Wah! 131%. 131% on BFRG. BFRG now up 131%. Ooh! Stewie's being chased by the frog. You see the frog? Oh, yes. 133% testing the high a day. Up, oh my, 143% and climbing. Oh, migration. Oh, migration, 145. Up 145%. BFRG up 145. Up 145. Percenta. Ooh-wee. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. All right. BFRG up 145%. Testing the high a day right there. Now testing the high a day. BFRG up 145% and testing the high a day. BFRG, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1600. BFRG up 145%. And testing the high of day at 126. Right there. There we go. There we go. And Khalid Al-Haji says ELAP. ELAP? ELAP. ELAP. Okay. ELAP. I don't know what that means, but okay. I appreciate that.
Maybe ELAB?
I guess he means ELAB? Okay, maybe. Let's take a look at ELAB. We'll take a look at ELAB in the meantime. Yes. All right. Most certainly. All right. Let's take a look at ELAB then. ELAB. Let's see how ELAB is doing. ELAB has a bit of a double top right here. A little bit of a double top. Right over at the 450 mark right there. A little bit at the 450 mark. Oh my, hold on. One second. ELAB has a bit of a double top at 451. And meanwhile, poor Stewie went, ah! Don't worry. He's doing his thing. Yeesh. So, Stewie's doing his thing. He's doing his little free fall thing. Meanwhile, ELAB just went double top and hit the 150 mark right there. Actually, excuse me. It hit the $4.50 mark right there. 451 specifically is where it hit. So as of now, ELAB has a resistance line at 450 right now. ELAB needs to break resistance at 450 right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. All right. ELAB needs to break above there, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to break above there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all we got going on right now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeesh.
I tell you about the big bucks.
The big bucks, yes. All right, so as of now, ELAB has to do that right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, you can find us on our YouTube at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on our on our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where both of which we do lots of live streaming on there. With YouTube, we do lots of live streaming, stock reviews, stock analysis, long form and short form videos. All right, and to top it off, I hope you guys liked our comedy shorts there as well. Hope you guys like those beautiful shorts there. Right, we have a good time making them. All right, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can check out our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming, stock reviews, and stock analysis. You can check out our Twitch at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming. And then you can find us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of wonderful stock review and analysis as well. You can find us on our TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Mix. At DBLNICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Money! All right. So, as of now, that's what we have going on. We're just doing our thing here. All right. And yeah. So, be sure to check out our show at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Power Plays, hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he traverses the stock market and basically, goes through the stocks, gives his honest review and analysis on said stocks right there. And then basically what he does is he, just gives his honest review and analysis. Then he goes into the Fortnite and gets some dubs for the community, ladies and gentlemen. Some dubs for the community. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He goes and decides to get some dubs for the community, ladies and gents, because that's what he do. That's how Coach do. All right? And, of course, so he basically goes in there, reviews the stock market, then proceeds to get some dubs for the community in Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen, in the Fortnites right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, quick thing before we wrap up. If you guys have been watching and you're serious about small caps, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to sit on the outside trying to piece it together, because we have a 4-day full access pass for only $9.99. And it's full access. So if you come inside, you guys get to see how we operate live, how we structure trade ideas, how we map our levels, how we think about risk, how we handle momentum. All that and even more. You guys get the next day early watch list, as well as a 24/7 market news flow, which you guys are seeing right now on the right side of the screen. It shows the hyperlink to the full article, a synopsis of the article, as well as a hyperlink to the ticker that is affiliated with the News with Insight article right there. It's a wonderful research tool right there. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you get access to our pre-market, after hours, or regular hour scanners as well, which show the ticker, price, volume, float, catalyst context built right in. All right. You get to see the change in percentage. You get to see the stock, whether it's moving up or down, as well as the time which it's scanned. And you have hyperlinks to that stock right there. So that way, you're pretty much just chilling right there. You got hyperlinks to those stocks right there in case you want to research them and do all that wonderful stuff right there. So yeah, there you go. That's what we got going on right there. And to top it off, you can check out that wonderful little, just that wonderful scanner right there. And to top it off, you get access to our ticker tape, built to catch stocks when they're starting to heat up before they go parabolic. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is noise. We do structure around here. All right. And that ticker tape, by the way, has hyperlinks as well. So if that's how you want to approach this market, grab the 4-day pass and come see it live, ladies and gentlemen, because the link is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. And when you come in, let us know that you saw us on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know. All right. So much love. All right. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned at 1:30 p.m. for Power Plays. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. Be sure to follow us and give us a heart on X. And make sure to repost us at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money. Hit us with some likes, hit us with some hearts, and hit us with some follows on there. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out on TikTok, Tiki Taki, a.k.a. the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. That is a ish. So be sure to check that out as well. All right, where we do, and give us a like there and a follow and all that wonderful stuff. Yes. So, that's pretty much it for me. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later for Power Plays. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets caught out the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go into the stock market and find them ABCDs. We call her DVR Moms! Hey! And that's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on. So much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you at Power Plays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.